What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is us back once again. This is a flow show for the love of wrestling. Young Baca, Brian Andrew, and myself, Kwency Jones, go. Lots of wrestling happening this week. Can't promise we watched all of it, but majority of us watched all of it. And I mean, we got. What would you say, Baca? Either way, you got opinions on it.
I have opinions on wrestling. I have opinions on a lot of stuff I don't watch.
You got some idiotic takes. I just want to
listen. Listen.
Oh no.
Kenny Omega isn't happy about what happened.
We're going.
Are you in Kenny Omega's head right now? How he feels emotionally?
I'm not in Trump's head, but I know that
he's not sweating. He's not sweating what Baca has to say right now.
I understand that it's going to take a no.
You understand. This is a man
who's
he's wrestled in North Carolina once. You understand?
That was such a dope thing. See, that's why I feel like he's having fun with the intro and all that.
He had two girls shaking it with brooms, and I mean, I put it like this. You know, we talk about Cody, but man, Kenny had some liberties, didn't he? I'm saying that entrance was elaborate, right? And then he goes and he shakes Sonny's hand, and then boom, V trigger.
I love that.
Like this is what I told my brother. This was my thought process walking in. I was like, obviously he replaced Joey Janela. I would have thought him and Joey Janela probably would have had maybe a 5-minute match where it would have showed Joey getting a little bit in, but it would have been Kenny overall getting the win.
Right.
But then when I saw it with Sonny, I'm like, man, I wonder why Sonny got the shot. I'm like, oh, probably because Joey was like, yo, I can't make it, but can you give it to Sonny? And then I'm thinking, oh, maybe he's probably saying, you know what, hey, can you do me a favor and give Sonny a good match? And then I'm watching this entrance, and by the time he hits the ring and the pyro, I'm like, he's gonna bury Sonny. I'm like, and they're gonna let him. I was like, they usually wouldn't because like you said, like you said before, Baca, every match has to be a pay-per-view. So by the time everyone gets tired of it, but I was like, please let's not have this. And then the fact that he killed her in not even a minute. Awesome. Loved it.
I believe he's just homosexual. Maybe we're over-gendering. I don't know.
Well, the reason I had to switch back and forth is because Sonny.
I'm not sure.
Her female pronouns. So.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
So shouldn't.
Me and my brother confirmed that before we started.
Oh, I appreciate that because I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I corrected myself right now. So yeah.
Because I didn't want because there's
so can Sonny go for can Sonny go for the women's championship?
No.
Okay.
But then that's the same question with Nia with the world heavyweight, right?
I don't know anything.
Well, so I'm asking you. I'm throwing it back at you. You know what I mean? It's no judgment here. It's an open dialogue.
I don't know.
Because I don't even think they know the answers to these questions.
I don't know.
Also, you know what I mean? But
I'm telling you, I don't know how to handle a lot of these situations, and I don't know what's correct and what's not.
It's all brand new.
Can he say to Cody Rhodes, Young Bucks, and Kenny Omega, all his bosses, say, hey, can I go for the women's championship?
And I don't think anyone would be super against it.
Mm-hmm.
It'd actually give the division something worth watching.
The fans would probably be somewhat split on it. But
depending on which state you live in, correct?
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It depends.
They're in Jacksonville.
How progressive is your wrestling? You know what I'm saying? That's the question.
So can anybody go for any championship?
I don't believe in that. I mean, because then you're saying then a mixed tag can go for the tag team championships, right? But they've done that in TNA before. And also a woman has also gone for the heavyweight championship.
I feel like in smaller indie promotions, it's a little bit more open.
I think it's more accepted.
Because they want those pops, right? Like Impact made, I don't know her name off the top
Tessa
of my head,
Blanchard?
They made Tessa the heavyweight champion. So we're talking about it, right? So WrestleTalk covers it. So the internet wrestling community has something to discuss, and it puts Impact in the headlines.
I could be wrong about this, but isn't Jordynne Grace going for the X Division title?
I believe so.
Watch Impact. I'm not going to stand up there and act.
I just know from what other people report.
Yeah,
all I know is she's amazing. I'm a big fan of hers.
Yeah,
I've never seen a wrestler, but I'm a big fan. Huge fan.
I'm a big fan of Jordynne Grace as well. See, like, and that's the thing. It's hard to be like, oh, someone like her or someone that looks like her. Yeah, I wouldn't mind because she looks like she could whoop a guy's ass as opposed to someone like Tessa. But then
I'm sure she's whooped a lot of guys' ass.
You can't say that about Tessa. You can't be, because if you say that, and it's like now you're downgrading or downplaying her abilities and all that. You know what I mean? And it's just like, no, that's not where I'm coming from.
Well, outside of wrestling and boxing, that's why they had weight classes, because it's
yeah.
You can't have 110 pound guy against Gold.
I know you hate to talk about it, but Cody, he just talked about how he's putting on heavyweight kind of gains right now, and I'm like thinking in my head, why when you can't even go for the title?
I think that's like, a hint that he's going to try to do it. I think the Elite's going to turn heel.
That would be awesome if they did.
I think the Young Bucks are kind of already there.
Aren't the Young Bucks super kicking every referee that
I was going to say, as a group, though, they're not quite there yet.
I mean, yeah, because
I don't think they want a group anymore.
Well, I was going to say, that's the interesting thing is you haven't really seen all 5 of them collectively. I mean, you've seen a little bit of like bleed over, but Cody's been the one who's been on an island by himself for a while.
And then Cody's
more about that more about that nightmare family stuff than he is more about the Elite.
But
he does randomly play the Elite card when he wants to.
Yeah. I mean, well, it's funny because he did show up on being the Elite for the first time in like forever earlier this week, which was hilarious because they had this whole bit with a private party, having a private party, and they had a bouncer with the red rope, and then like you see him roll up with like a hood, and he's like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to be in the episode, Nick. And then like totally breaking like the fourth wall. And then they're like, oh yeah, he's on the list. Like, yeah, I'm fucking on the list. And it was fun seeing Cody actually doing stuff with them again. Cause you don't see it a whole lot, but I mean, I wouldn't be mad if the Elite actually decided to go full heel. I mean, you got Kenny already cooking something up. The Bucks already been on a tantrum. I don't know, because Hangman there's no way Hangman could turn heel with them if obviously the finals are going to be him and Kenny, right?
I don't think
he gets that babyface rub already, technically, just because he's a guy who has a big heart and he thought he was doing the right thing and then he fucked up. You know what I mean? So he's forgivable.
I do think there's going to be kind of like a situation where it's the Elite on paper, but they're not really all together. And I do think like they're all going to be considered the Elite, but Cody and Hangman at least are going to be the baby faces at the beginning, while Kenny and the Young Bucks are heels. And then I eventually do think Cody's going to become heel, because that's the only way he could get out of his situation with trying to get back into the world title picture.
Isn't Cody a very believable heel? He's a natural heel.
He's got the dark hair. He's got the shitty neck tattoo.
Well, no, he went back to the blonde. Heel.
Dude, I mean,
he went back to the blonde, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, and which I was kind of
disappointed. Keep up, Ryan. Come on.
No, I mean just like he went dark hair and he's got the shit neck tattoo.
Which made you think that it was because that's usually what they do, right? It's like, oh, he has a beard, oh, he has darker hair.
It's like a little hints that I think are gonna happen over
it's
time.
just like, oh man, something happened to this guy. He got 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
it's like all of a sudden he's like he's.
I just feel like Cody needs the blonde hair, right? That's why. That's
the blonde hair looks good.
I'll put like this, like Cody as a villain was I think it was when he went against Jay Lethal, but he had this whole. It was the first time he showed he bleached the hair, and he had this whole like M. Bison vibe like entrance to him where he like just like took the hood off, revealed the hair. It was like and the freaking flames in the back of him. I'm like, oh yeah, you're a natural villain. You know what I mean? Like. He's great. I mean, he can play both, which is great. We didn't get to see him play face a whole lot in WWE. I mean, I don't count Stardust because even after a while, they had him doing the stuff with Ascension, which was heel work. So I don't know.
Why isn't Ascension in AEW?
I mean, honestly, me and my brother said a long time ago that they should have grabbed them to join the Dark Order to help make them really a threat. Like them two back in Brody would be awesome.
Silver's been doing pretty cool though.
Dude, Silver had a flurry on Dynamite. It was like, what? Like you got a little something? I'm like, okay. He got a little Johnny's Hungy chant from the crowd and shit. I was like, okay, they're really getting this guy over. See,
so inform me. What is the crowd situation for AEW? Is it friends and family only?
I believe it's.
Or can anybody sign up?
No, it's open to 15% capacity, but they're like moved all the way. Like they're not even near. Like they're not part of that front row that they have all the wrestlers. Like they're part of like, I think a few tiers up. They're not like all the way at the top, but
is AEW doing somewhat of a bubble? They kind of just want you to come to the arena and go home.
I don't know because what they've been doing is the way
because that's what they're doing in baseball.
I saw that they've been advertising tickets, but they've been offering them like in bulk, like oh, you can make these 3 dates in a row. So maybe, possibly, they're trying to. Oh,
I'm just talking about the wrestlers. All the wrestlers just.
Oh, the wrestlers.
Kind of just going to the arena and going home. But Florida is open. The governor of Florida said, "Hey, you guys can sell everything up to 100% capacity." which is nuts. Even if you, I don't know if you guys been watching the World Series, but just to see how much people in the stadium it's
bro. Like I saw
it's
when
kind of crazy because you're not.
I saw when they got in a fight. Those fans got in a fight at the game.
At the Philly game, right? You talking about the Eagles game? Yeah. Well, that's Philadelphia, baby. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, so that's what I said about Bill Burr, you know, and then everybody got, you know, up in a hush.
Have you seen that? I just watched it for the first time 2 weeks ago.
You talking about Roman versus the world? No, bro, that's Bill.
Oh my gosh, dude!
That bro took on all of Philly, and that shit was amazing.
Have you seen that, Brian? Where they're booing him off stage in Philly, and he stands up there for 10 minutes, and he just boasts them the whole entire time.
The teams,
it's unbelieful. It is
going in on the Eagles.
He's the best.
Yeah, no, that's why. Like the only reason I brought that up because someone asked me about the whole.
Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, monolog, and I'm like, dude, I was like, if you're offended by that, you've obviously never seen Bill Burr before. I'm like, dude, that's like super light. Like
it was the audience that he was doing it in front of. Those liberal New York dudes that
you can't
super woke.
You can't say that about white women.
Yeah, you can't say that about white women.
It's like, listen, you guys say all this about black men all the time, but
Dave Chappelle had the same joke maybe about 5 years ago.
Yeah,
white women were part of the heist. They just don't like the percentage.
Yeah, that's a good joke.
So, I mean, but can we move it after wrestling? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. But I mean, it's funny because I was gonna try. But you guys see a couple weeks back where that promo that MVP cut for on behalf of Her Business, where he's like, because we fit the description, and Her Business. I was like, ooh, was that?
They should lean into it, man. It's crazy.
Well, the thing with him
is in this country. Let's lean into it.
He has documented, time in prison. They talk about it every time. When he was. Still Montel. Do you know what's crazy?
Same thing with Booker T. Every time he comes down the ramp, they talk.
You're like, it's something that's like on the SmackDown facts.
Yeah.
Like, 2-time world champion, and then it's like 10 years in prison for Rob Robert.
Are we excited about David Ortiz and Booker T at WrestleMania?
What do you mean? Are they about to have a match?
They were calling each other out.
Why?
David Ortiz recently gets
David Ortiz. The best thing. This is the best thing.
David Ortiz got shot in the Dominican because he was going out with a drug dealer's girlfriend.
Two things that he is famous for: dating Jennifer Hudson and teaming with John Cena to become tag champions, and that's it. He's never done
nothing else.
Like he has the worst commentary. Like, I feel like this.
Listen,
next thing, I feel like this. I'd rather.
Are we talking about Booker T?
No.
I'm stopping you. I'm a
we're talking about
Yankees fan.
We're talking about David Ortiz.
Yankees,
that's what. Okay,
but David Ortiz is the man, dude. I love David Ortiz.
I never talking about David Otunga.
You
talk about charisma. You talk about cutting promos. Go on YouTube, watch the promo that he cut a week after the Boston Marathon bombing, and he lit the whole city on fire, man.
Wait, hold on. Wait, who'd you say, Brian?
He's taking a water break.
Baca's talking about David Ortiz from the Red Sox. You're talking about David Otunga.
Yeah, my bad. This whole time I thought you were about David Otunga. My bad, bro.
Wait, you guys got to keep up.
Booker T dates Jennifer Hudson.
That's you guys got to keep up. David Ortiz and Booker T were calling each other out on SmackDown.
Bro, I'm sorry.
I wouldn't bring losers like that up.
Bro.
Yeah, I was about to jump through this computer if you're talking down about David Ortiz.
No. As soon as you said Yankees, I'm like, who the fuck's the Yankees?
Yeah, I didn't know what you guys.
I was like, does he know that he's not really from Harlem? From the Harlem Heat? What's he talking about?
He grew up in Houston. He's from the Harlem Heat.
And then as soon as you said Otunga, I'm like, oh shit, I'm talking about the wrong guy. I'm not talking about. You're talking about Big Papi, correct?
Big Papi, Booker T, WrestleMania. You want to hear first on the Flow Show?
I don't want to
because we do exclusives now. If you don't know,
can I? You know what? What is your opinion on guys outside of wrestling coming in and getting the payday from our
I love it. I love it.
You a big Pat McAfee guy?
We talked about this a little bit before.
Is that like our test coming in and grabbing some of those young Baca production shows? And
we talked about a little bit the 45-minute meeting we had before this podcast that we recorded. We talked about a little bit. I think Pat coming in, he's been doing a great job, and that's another natural hill. But he's super charismatic. That's why he's a punter who's made a name for himself in media. You have to be charismatic. He's not a big name that was guaranteed a spot once his playing career was over.
There's been a lot more. There's been some actual wrestlers that have been less as good as Pat McAfee.
100%, yeah.
I'll admit that. But I'm gonna say if Pat McAfee just kind of fits that manager role, I don't mind it. I just don't want him taking on main event.
Taking away screen time from.
I just don't want him on main event matches at Takeover with Adam Cole.
He obviously.
Did you like that match?
It was okay.
It was a great match.
He obviously presses my buttons, right? So he's obviously, like you said,
right?
he's good. Yeah, I mean, in the character department, we don't need him, and we don't need any more work on that. And I put this, and I say he doesn't need any more encouragement either. He needs to just keep it where it's at and not go over what he's doing.
When they kicked him out of the NXT broadcasting booth because he kept egging on Adam Cole, that was great work. And then when he comes back and he kicks him in the head, that's what wrestling is, man.
I mean,
WrestleMania was built on
I don't know.
wrestling. WrestleMania was built on thinking
I think this would have. I don't think this would have worked. I don't think this would have worked with just.
You're not being a mark, dude. You're not being a
I have to keep the balance on this side because you guys.
You're the biggest. You're the biggest mark out of all of us,
bro. I mean, you got the guy. You're wearing the guy's merch. You don't even like him. I don't
like Jon Moxley. But it was when you have options that.
I'll admit, I know we're on the Pat McAfee stuff. I'm just gonna throw this tidbit. If you guys want to run with it, you guys can. But I am, as much as the promo work and the build has been pretty good, I am not interested in Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley, and I feel like I'm on the minority on that for some reason.
Well, I think it's because he's a minority, right?
I mean,
I know I set myself for that. Now.
You said it. First of all, I'm me and Brian are proud and powerful. In case you didn't know,
yeah,
just in general, it's just you. I don't know. On the other hand, you kind of sold out to the land of entertainers. I don't know.
I do really support black and brown wrestling, like Street Profits. There may or may not be a Street Profits t-shirt on the way over here right now.
You barely. I already had it. I mean, I've been had the smoke, bro.
I love.
No. Don't hop on the train now, bro.
Consistent,
unless you have the NXT Street Profits shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Poser, man.
Yeah, you're a poser, bro. You're hopping on the bandwagon at the end of the smoke, bro. I don't. You're a smoke jumper, bro.
I just wish they were consistent. I feel like they're just wasting them away by having.
I mean, the part of that is the fact that they don't have any other opponents for them, and we've been watching them do the same.
Then you make opponents. Then just how they did with Dolph Ziggler.
But they got rid of everybody. They had to move people around right now. I mean, they have a good
singles and put them together as a tag team. That happens.
I mean, who
Connection.
Who would you put together?
Yeah,
I would have to look at the roster and see who I could put together.
Because that's the thing I was talking to my brother right now is like because we were talking about. I'm sure we can probably do a little predictions. I mean, we didn't predict the whole card because we only predicted the Hell in the Cell matches. But I mean. He thinks Randy's gonna take the strap, and I'm thinking,
there's no way.
And the only reason is like there's no faces for him to go against besides Keith Lee, who's already doing something with Braun, and I mean, there's no one else that's a top guy. I mean, a top face. I mean, Matt Riddle? I don't think they're gonna give him that. I mean, they may make him take the L.
But it is always better when the baby face is chasing the heel champion.
Yeah, and that's my thing is like, who? I mean, I guess maybe Jeff Hardy.
But who's going to be chasing? There's one thing to have a 1 month feud, but who's going to actually?
Yeah, and that's my thing.
Well, then it's going to be Drew. It's going to be Drew, Jason after Randy.
But with WrestleMania coming up, I don't want to put that pressure.
They said the WrestleMania main event's going to be Randy Orton versus Edge for the championship.
That's what I'm saying. So really, the chase is going to fail, and there's no one wants to see Drew McIntyre just fail on his chase, right? That's not the point of having the chase.
You can't be on top.
Hot take. I think I'd be pissed off at Edge inadvertently if I'm Drew McIntyre because he comes back, gets his shot at Randy for the title, and there's going to be people there.
You have two matches.
When I won, I had no people.
Well, Gronk came into WrestleMania and he had 15 minutes of airtime. That's just how wrestling is, man. You guys. I know you guys want to see Chris Benoit versus Lance Storm.
No,
the main event WrestleMania. But
if they
that even happened,
match.
He said Lance Storm
versus
watching. Benoit, though.
You just watch some shitty battle royal, and all of a sudden you just see Lance Storm come out, and you're like, "Oh, that's interesting. Why is Lance Storm here?" And then Chris Benoit's music hits.
You're like, "Can I be serious for a second?" I'm like, "Yeah."
I'm just saying you need to have entertainment, man. It just can't be too technician.
That's how to be way more entertaining.
Dude. I understand that,
I'm saying WrestleMania was bought because they bought MTV Rock and Roll and wrestling together. That's
but then they had 20 to 30 straight years of none of.
But there's a difference.
That's not true.
But
that's not true at all, man.
But Baca, is there not a difference now? Because shouldn't there be more confidence in their own guys to bring the entertainment?
There is,
but they keep reaching out to the guys outside of wrestling.
They want to.
I get the crossover.
I have these same conversations in hip hop.
I understand that. I understand that part, but I'm like, dude, they gotta like the Tyson Fury one. I think was a lucky one because I
think that's going to be great when they do it again.
I don't want to see it again. The first time is like if they're gonna do it again, keep.
So what? You just want Adam Cole versus?
No. What I'm saying is, I mean, like the Pat McAfee one, like that. Like I said, that was great. But my point with that whole thing is, it was great because of who was in there. That could
you need to do a good job of who you book and who you.
Yeah. I mean, because in my defense, I'm just saying it could have been 2 other guys that are still good names in each of their industries, and it would have just fell through. You know what I mean? It wouldn't have been as good. You know what I mean?
I don't mind the celebrity guy having like a 6-man tag, being a manager for a wrestler.
And that almost went wrong. Yeah, that almost.
I don't want my celebrity guy being the main event thing. I guess
Mike Tyson, WrestleMania was amazing.
No, but he didn't wrestle.
But that was the best thing about that is
he's nuts. I'm sure they would have loved
he didn't have his license at the time, so he was able to appear.
There was a reason why he was a boxing. Yeah.
But the thing is, the reason I made that great is he played it so he had a small part in it. You know, he didn't overtake the entire. You know. The entirety of the whole focus of the whole match.
I don't want to see Drew Brees headline WrestleMania, but I mean, you got to get people involved. That's all I'm saying.
Like one example of how it went horribly wrong was when it was like the Ball family was on Raw and they had Miz. You know what I mean? They couldn't even.
But you know what? They talked about it. What did he say, Ryan? What did he get in trouble for?
He dropped the N-bomb.
Oh, okay, I didn't know.
Same thing in Kwency.
Yeah, I got you. I was like, I see what's going on.
So, but you know what? It was a 15-minute segment on First Take the next morning.
Yeah, I mean, look,
and all it was
good
for
business.
WWE. All it was for WWE was a throwaway Monday Night Raw segment.
There's a way of having good business without ruining the integrity of the entire thing.
I agree, but they didn't expect these guys to go off script like that.
Because this is my only concern with that. Obviously, as a pure wrestling fan or whatever, no neck beard, no Cheetos. You know what I mean?
I have a neck beard.
It makes me. I'm not trying to attack you. I'm sorry.
I'm all like licking the Cheetos off my fingers.
It gets. What you guys talking about? What?
Why is everyone not being pushed?
It gets me concerned because it opens this doorway for people who don't know all about understand the world of wrestling, and they're like, oh, so just anybody can go in there and do it. So this is like, there's already the idea that it's fake, predetermined.
There's a man in the Mart Park right now in Crenshaw saying, I don't want so-and-so to rap because then people are going to think that's what rapping is. There's different demographics. There's different levels. Nobody's going to compare the Eddie Guerrero and the Chris Benoit's to these celebrities coming in.
I'm not asking them to. I'm not holding them to that standard. But you have to admit, like when you got 2 guys who really, like you got like a punter who didn't really see a whole lot of physical damage on the field because he's a punter. You know what I mean? Then he's just like this big dude who does like the podcast. And I'm not trying to talk down on. That's all I know him from. And so he comes in and he does well. I give it to him. He does do well. But it's just now I got people that are thinking, oh, anybody can just get off their ass and get this paycheck, and
that's
just
not true.
But they don't know that.
There's more people. There's more people that download.
Hold on. You have to be more accepting that could be a perception people are taking away from that. Because it's already bad enough when you try to show somebody wrestling and they're like, oh, is this what you watch? And then it's like the worst thing that you can't even.
And then it's Rikishi on his face and somebody's 100%.
You know what I mean?
For example, too, someone's looking for really good wrestling too. You're not going to say, hey, go check out that takeover where Pat McAfee wrestled Adam Cole. You're going to show him a different takeover. So in a weird way, it's kind of like as a fan,
the average
you're wasting that takeover.
The guy that lives down to Paul for me, he might be more interested in the entertainment value of Adam Cole and Pat McAfee,
that might be what
Owen Hart and Bret Hart.
What me and Kwency I think are trying to say.
We're talking about. I'm representing the casual fans. That's what I'm saying.
I'm saying, but me and Kwency are saying there's a place for that. And you guys say
get out of here. We don't want you guys.
No, we're saying there's a place for that, but we're also saying, like, for example, if they did Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole, if it was like the first match or the second match on the card, that's a totally different.
So they don't deserve the main event. There's more people that download Pat McAfee's podcast every week than there is that watch NXT.
Kevin Hart's All-Star team is not going to make it to the NBA Finals. Like, we're supposed to look at our main event. We're supposed to look at our main event as a legit thing.
You cannot compare the NBA to wrestling.
Don't compare hip hop to wrestling.
Well, first of all,
we got to remember that.
But also remember that they want to be wrestlers so bad.
I know you guys don't like hearing that, but it's
but they want to be wrestlers so bad, don't they?
Like, keep in mind, Gronk quit because he couldn't fall off a 15-foot thing.
He said this old man is crazy.
what they saw is they saw a guy that was a body animal, and they were hoping that he could
Brock
translate that
Lesnar
energy
walked
in
away
front of
from.
the.
He walked away from the Vikings. Not true, but he walked away from the Vikings.
I'm sure that's how it went.
No, he said no to them. That's exactly how it went down.
There was double the amount of people that watch that download Pat McAfee's podcast every week than there was that watch NXT.
Which I'm sure.
If we could get some of that love,
do you think so, for reals?
He gets 1.1 million downloads a week.
But and then how many viewers do you think they're hitting a week?
This last week they had 540,000 NXT viewers.
Ooh.
So that's a little bit more than double.
Damn.
So apology accepted.
No. I'm curious because I don't know that. I mean, for a casual fan, you know a lot about these numbers.
But do people like? Oh man, I want to go see Pat McAfee do this thing.
If 10% of them went to go check it out, that's a lot of people.
They would still lose to AEW in the TV ratings.
No, but if you could add an extra, if 5% of people that download this podcast go to check out the main event, then WWE is super happy about that.
I think people are interested once in the thing like
that's fine.
Pat McAfee
that's
wrestle,
fine.
but I don't think people are interested in seeing it happen again.
They might, the people that listen to this podcast go over to NXT to watch it. They might catch a couple matches.
Well, there's going to be a cross.
NXT fans. That's
well, I mean,
5% go over and maybe 2% stay.
But you're arguing like we're saying there's not a place for it. We're arguing that there is a place. I said Pat McAfee being the manager of this group is good for
I mean, like, because I'm trying to give you credit. I'm trying to give you credit here, Baca. If you let us, like, I'm just saying what you're saying is correct. That could be their personal hook that gets them into wrestling. It's because of like, I mean, somebody could be a Mayweather fan and they're like, wait, Mayweather did what in wrestling? And then they watch. You know what I mean? So I totally get that. But I guess I'm trying to figure out should there not be a line drawn, or at least maybe some, and you know, this is going to sound, you know, totally professional because I think I know what I'm talking about, but at least some people that are enlisted that are kind of not really tastemakers, or people that have like a finger on the pulse as far as what's actually going to be benefit. Because it seems like, you know, obviously, you know, everyone likes to say he's out of touch, you know, the old man. And so it's like, there's a lot of things that I think that they can do that are like what they're doing right now, but I think sometimes they do a hit and miss. Because like for instance, you know, they try to get Pitbull to perform at WrestleMania in Miami. On paper, it's a good look. Crowd fucking hated it. Another time they had Diddy in Brooklyn, hated it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I think that like they need to be a little bit smarter when they pick and choose. Pat McAfee was a great pick because, again, you know, he's already known in pop culture. He already has this current and modern audience that are in sync with what he's doing. Like you said, the crossover appeal definitely made sense. So they hit that one out the park. You know what I mean? I even had to learn a little bit about it, and you even bringing me in on some of that information as well. But I guess in the future, I mean, let's not bring back the celebrity host thing like Raw.
I'm not saying
right?
that
you know what I mean?
That was awful. I'm not saying.
Well, let me ask you this too.
But you have to remember, wrestling's entertainment, man.
I could see why, for example, where I feel like there was kind of a miss was like Tyson Fury.
But I don't think it was a miss.
Let me finish. All right. So he was on ESPN constantly. They're promoting it constantly. They paid a lot of money for him to be there. They made a lot of money maybe in return because of the Saudi deal. They were like, hey, we'll give some to take some, kind of situation like that. But as a wrestling fan, I understand the business behind it, but as a wrestling fan, if you're trying to watch a wrestling show and the main event, which I don't think it was the main event, it was maybe the second to last main event.
It was one of the biggest, promoted.
But
going into that, but yeah.
But if they ended the night with a Braun Strowman Tyson Fury match, as a fan, you're like, I just watched months of wrestling. I'm not invested in this shitty match, especially if it's gonna be clunky as all fuck. Like, I'd rather.
There's no there's no fallout from this that's going to continue like on regular TV.
So I don't mind that it's a part of the card. I understand why it's happening, and I'm intrigued on maybe how Tyson Fury will look.
Yeah,
but I'm not invested in the show because of what Tyson. I'm invested in whatever main event they've been building is going to happen, unless the main event is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre, which I'll be like, all right, this is the fourth time I've seen this. but we're not saying there can't be entertainment on the show. We understand that. That's a given. They're in sports entertainment now. That's what they do. But
apology accepted.
But yeah, the Tyson Fury thing, I think maybe I think that's
no. I agree. We should have more Kenny Omega and Sony.
No. I mean, because.
Hey, by the way, I'm going back to that later. Like, that was
I mean, all I'm saying is I think they just got to just be smarter with the way they do the crossover stuff. Like I said,
WWE has been on fire lately, man. It's been
lately, I mean, they've been under investigation too. So there's that.
You need to chill out. You haven't even watched wrestling this week.
You're telling us
it's been on fire.
You're the fans that I'm talking. See,
did you guys watch the New Day last match together?
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
it was good.
Okay,
yeah.
but we don't talk about the good stuff WWE's talking. Let's just talk about how to under investigation.
Hey, that was a week ago, man. But by the time we get to Flow every week, we've already watched a shitty Raw episode.
Yes,
between
and it's been washed away.
I haven't watched it, but I know it's not.
No.
I know
First of all,
shitty.
WWE's not on fire. SmackDown has been on fire.
Can you chill, Baca? They literally ended the night with Drew McIntyre opening the cage, closing it, and saying, "Hey, you're stuck in here with me," and then.
And you know what? I give him
that builds up the anticipation of Hell in the Cell, what they're trying to.
No, 100%. But then it's like
so they're just just walks by.
So we're supposed to be like, oh, 6 days later they didn't hurt each other. We're just supposed to just like, oh yeah, remember what happened 6 days ago?
It's wrestling, man.
It's not even like you can fake. It's not even that you can fake Randy Orton got out through the other side. He has to go through that same door.
But see, all I'm saying is, we're not asking for much, but they give Randy Orton some night vision goggles. That's all I'm trying to say. But
remember the 6-man Armageddon that they had at Armageddon pay-per-view? That was amazing.
The one with Rikishi,
and none of it made sense.
Vince
McMahon's bad because all of his wrestlers.
Hey, when you have shiny toys, that's different. So, the shiny toys right now.
Come on, man! I'm just saying, you guys. It's been this way for the last 25 years, and you guys are all over it because you guys have these new losers in Jacksonville.
We're not all over
Sony versus Kenny.
We're not even talking about AEW, bro. See, that's the thing.
No, but
you keep becoming the same fan that you talk about.
You guys disregard what WWE's doing because it's fashionable to be in love with AEW.
You're being that toxic fan. Like, I'll tell you right now.
Yeah,
I'm tired of AEW sometimes doing more than they have to do because
but you know what? This week's episode, they didn't do too much. All they did was
this week's episode on WrestleTalk got a 5 out of 5.
Dude, all they did
nothing that WWE's ever done.
No, fuck WrestleTalk. You keep big every day.
You keep bringing them
up.
Because
WrestleTalks, I know because
but we don't watch it.
What
you keep giving them airtime, bro. All I'm saying is a fan. They had 5 matches. 6 matches. One that was for Britt Baker because they needed to represent, something to represent the women's division. They had the 4 tournament matches where obviously they needed to do development on that because they got the semis next week. Then they had the number 1 contender fatal 4-way for the tag titles. Like, not too much. Like, for a change, they didn't put. Usually, I'm with you. They try to cram Wrestle Kingdom into every week. Yeah, but it wasn't like that this week, and I felt like it was pretty good.
Me and Kwency,
and not to take away from NXT, but in terms of AEW and him versus Sonny, I'm just saying, like, dude, they could have him and Sonny. You would have complained if him and Sonny would have had a 15-minute match, but they did, and you're still.
I would have. Like I
know we're here to build up new wrestlers, not squad.
AEW, and sometimes, and I kind of get into this with the Eddie Kingston thing too, is they sometimes build wrestlers that are not going to be successful. Yeah. And me and Kwency, and I don't know if Baca was on this episode, but when we were in our pilot stages, this is when AEW was recording in Georgia. Started. I remember Kenny Omega went out there and I had almost like a 20-minute match with some no-name. I was like, why the fuck are they wasting our time?
Like, you know what I mean? And it's funny because you bring that up. I was thinking about that match too. I was like, well, last time they had him fucking sell for this guy for 15 minutes. They're not going to let him crush Sonny. I'm like, oh, shit. No, they're going to let him fucking, yeah.
So what they did with Sonny, I loved because actually AEW built me up to think no matter who's out there, everyone's going to have at least 10 to 15 minutes of back and forth, whatever, and then
fair shot
at the end. But no, he went out there and legit had a squash match, and I was like,
to be honest, when's the last time we had a squash match on Dynamite?
Serious?
I mean, outside of maybe Brody and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I mean, I can't think the last time we had a squash match, to be honest. I know Britt had one in her comeback a couple weeks ago, but it's not that common. But that's as much that's as much praise as I get. All I'm saying is if Kenny Omega was Kenny Omega sci-fi and he was a little bit of our skin color, you wouldn't be sweating him so much. That's
no, but I want to see Kenny Omega in the main event.
If Kenny Omega was a brother, you'd be like, man, I love seeing all.
Kenny Omega's getting to the main event.
They're finally pushing a brother in AEW.
But getting back to maybe Baca's point,
in AEW,
but that's what I'm saying. But if Kenny Omega was
No, I like Kenny Omega. That's why I want to see him do good.
If I could maybe make Baca feel like he has a point to make finally.
Let's go. Let's give him something.
It's fully loaded, right? Is that the name of the pay-per-view?
Full gear.
Fully loaded. Full gear.
Yeah.
So AEW on paper legit only has like 5 pay-per-views a year?
Yeah. It's like they have 4, and then I think they do that what they call it's like their tribute to the troops, but it's like the Fight for the Fallen, right?
So they have like those 2 mini ones in the summer, which you can count maybe as one total, right?
Yeah.
They kind of build into each other.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, they have the All Out, Double or Nothing, Full Gear. They did have Revolution earlier this year in February, or was it March? So it's about 5.
So you would think every single main event on all these matches has to have at least somewhat of a marquee name.
Yep.
And I'm kind of disappointed. I love what Eddie Kingston's doing, but even Jon Moxley has been a little bit since COVID happened. Like they've been having these like placeholder feuds. I feel like throwing Brody Lee in there last minute. That wasn't All Out. That was what's the one that's supposed to be in Vegas?
Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing. And then who did he wrestle?
Well, it can't be that good if you don't know who it is, right?
MJF. It was MJF at All Out.
It was MJF at All Out, right? And then now he's trying to get to
Lance Archer at the anniversary show. And
Eddie Kingston's dope, and I understand that they're trying to build it where probably Moxley wins, and then he's gonna go face and then lose probably to the winner of this tournament. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
But are they gonna? When are they gonna do? So you're saying that the better match that's gonna come out of this whole scenario is gonna happen on Dynamite, or are they gonna wait until like January or February to have this marquee match?
I can't see them put on just regular TV.
Well, but they have before, dude. I mean, and that's the thing. That's their problem. Sometimes they'll give away free TV like that.
And sometimes I'm
that
trying
is one of their issues, yeah.
And the thing is, AEW's pay-per-view prices cost money. It's not that you can just buy the network. Am I gonna pay $50-something to watch the main event of Jon Moxley versus Eddie Kingston? Like, I'm all about pushing new guys, but like,
no. In terms of, I mean, even though you put the I Quit stip on it, yeah. If I had the choice to put $50 for Eddie Kingston versus Jon Moxley, I Quit, or pay $9.99 to watch Roman Reigns in the Hell in a Cell, I Quit with Jey Uso, I'm gonna pay the $9.99. I mean, not even just because it's cheaper, but I already kind of know what I'm getting. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to take away anything from them too, but I think we all would be hella surprised if Eddie was the champ. But then again,
there's no way, right? There's absolutely no way.
But what if they did?
I would be shocked.
Let me put this in perspective though. And this is where I was gonna go with maybe my next point is, if they're going to wait till Revolution to do the next one, which could be February or January, right?
They could even do Bash at the Beach. They did that in January, so they might bring that back.
What if Kingston does win and then drop it to the tournament winner on an episode of Dynamite, like maybe like a holiday special?
I could see that.
Like, I mean, he's a transitional champion.
Well, I was going to say, if he wins, I could see him being the reason why they wait until next year for that match to happen, because he doesn't have to wrestle a lot. He has his mouth. You know what I mean? So he can
and they could also do a rematch on Dynamite and let Moxley win the rematch, too, if they really want to, like, surprise us or something like that. Because a rematch on Dynamite with Moxley winning sounds like a very Dynamite thing to do.
Yeah, very true. I mean,
but that's the only intrigue I have going into it. I'm not expecting Kingston to win.
No.
And that means the other matches need to pop. And that's the issue I think I have with AEW is, you're competing with NXT every week, so you have to prove to me that you are better than NXT, because NXT on paper, just by putting nothing out, is sometimes really good. And then you also have to convince me that your pay-per-views are worth buying.
Yeah, have somebody spend $50 right now for a pay-per-view, that's crazy.
Especially right now, yeah.
And so it's in my opinion, free content now. Everything's free.
In my opinion, if they wanted Kingston and Moxley just to be a TV feud, and then like maybe a week or two before the pay-per-view happens, you have that match on Dynamite, and then you could build, and then you should have the tournament over, and then have the winner of the tournament at Full Gear. Like, that's how it should happen.
Tony Khan needs you, man. Tony Khan needs you.
I mean, I was
add a little bit of spice.
like we were thinking that the at Full Gear it was supposed to be the tournament winner versus Moxley too. You know what I mean?
And I remember we talked about it. I thought it was going to be Kingston and Kingston having the mouthpiece and Kingston having a mini feud with Moxley just for it to be Pentagon. Full Gear.
Oh yeah, which would have been great. Honestly, Penta versus Jon Moxley, some people probably would have paid $60, $50 for that.
And to be honest, Moxley's been champion long enough where you could be like, well, maybe Pentagon can win that, you know, because Pentagon's is someone you could. He flirts with that main event scene in almost every promotion he's in.
I was going to say, I mean, I want to say he was the world champion in Impact, which means like you're like a really top mid carder, right? But for real, the thing with Penta is his in-ring style. Mox has never wrestled anybody like him before. So
right.
That honestly would have been a definite like moneymaker, a definite draw, to be honest. Like, because he shows no emotion outside of just like wanting to whip your ass and being like savage about it. I mean, I don't know if he would have been able to put him out with the bully choke on that one, to be honest. It would have been pretty good. I mean, and again, not hating on Eddie Kingston. I loved what he did with Jon Moxley before, and I get the whole I didn't quit thing, but I'm like, dang, I didn't know we were going to, pretty much the whole thing was going to be salvaged into like an I Quit match. And I think it's just weird that they would do this I Quit match like a week away from when Roman's doing his I Quit match. You know what I mean?
Right. And if I could throw this out there to you, let's just change the landscape of where people are on the card, and I think this will make a lot more sense. If he was doing the same thing with Cody, we would all be like, holy shit, he might take that title off of Cody. But we're not. I don't think we're thinking that with Moxley.
Yeah, there's no way, right? Absolutely no way. None of us think it's going to happen, right?
I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
with Kingston, no.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this is just trying
It's just a filler.
Well, yeah, because I think they fell victim to a lot of that contradiction earlier in Moxley's like reign, where it's like, oh, of course it's him versus all the ex-WWE guys, Hager, freaking Brody, Cody, but now I think they're doing their due diligence to throw him in there with the Cages and the Lance Archers and the Eddie Kingstons to make it see he's not just resting on these ex-WWE guys to help carry this reign, but I don't know if it's too little too late. I'm not against him having this program with Eddie Kingston, but I'm surprised that this is going to be the main event for Full Gear.
I don't think it's going to end up being the main event. I wouldn't.
It has to be the main, because AEW really.
It's an I Quit match too. So
yeah, it's I Quit match, and it's for the championship, World Heavyweight Championship.
I wouldn't be surprised though if if it was Kenny Omega versus Hangman, and the winner, and then maybe you could have Moxley not on commentary but sitting ringside for the main event.
After an I Quit match.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not
like.
I'm a big fan of your booking, but
I mean, it could be vice versa. You may have one of the winners out there during the I Quit.
Yeah, that's true too. And then you have the Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley still down. That'd be awesome. Jon Moxley covered in blood, because we all know he's going to get some bread, right?
Jon Moxley.
We all know he's going
to. I mean, like, does Jon Moxley breathe? I mean, you know what I mean? Like,
well, I personally think this is just building up to Omega beating Hangman, Omega getting the title eventually, and then maybe Hangman by next All Out, or maybe Double or Nothing takes the title off Omega. But like Baca said, the chase, it's about the chase.
It's always about the baby chasing.
I think if Kenny has a title, they're gonna have him hold that title for a while.
6 years.
Yeah, it seems like it's been a long time.
Dude, no shit. Like 6 years is like 1 year Japanese. Like,
and if I could add to this, AEW still in their like premier phases of like you just can't have random champions at this point. So every champion's got to be somewhat legit. They've only had 2 so far, so it's not going to be Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston's not going to be number 3.
But you know what?
Right?
The only reason why I say you never know is because like he's a veteran. Fucking Jericho, like all these people are just finding out about him. He's been on the indies forever. Moxley, he's friends with pretty much everyone that runs the company, right?
But they're not going to do him a favor and say, "Hey,
no." But I don't think it's a favor. But you got to admit, when you got a guy who appeared uncontracted against Cody, and that same night he's getting calls from fucking WWE because they're seeing him for the first time on AEW.
Right.
That's got to mean something. You know what I mean? And
but granted, had a WWE body type.
Like granted. Well, I mean, they definitely would give him the Keith Lee treatment, right? But like like granted, WWE probably wouldn't know what to do with them unless they put them in NXT. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I mean, like to quote Cody, you can't put a saddle on a Mustang, bro. That fool's mouth is his gold mine. Like the moment that you start cutting what he can say and start trying to write promos for that guy, no, dude, it's over. You know, he's not gonna want to work there. But I say that to say that you just.
I'm sure he's gonna want that money if he's been on the Indies for so long.
I think. I mean, well, he's the one cutting these promos about being in Atlanta sports entertainers.
Yeah,
as he
I
likes
hear
to
you.
say. But
it's always good to cash a check.
hey, but he obviously chose AEW, so you know.
Yeah.
He chose up. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
So I do think this is transitioning him actually into a TNT title picture. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of Dark Order versus Cody, and then
true.
We get some Eddie Kingston Cody stuff.
I honestly wouldn't mind if Moxley like started going for the TNT Championship, guys. Like to help make it.
And like I said, this could easily just be a transitional. Like we're at a weird. This is the weird part of the year.
Yeah, this is the weird quarter of the year, 100%.
So like you could easily have Kingston carry that title for a month to 2 months, and then drop it like at like some special event in January or Christmas time.
Bash the Beach or whatever.
Bash the Beach would be, and if they move Revolution to late January or something, where maybe it's the week before or week after the Royal Rumble, that's only a 2.5, 3 month reign. So it's not, but I just don't picture at this stage, like they might as well just keep the rocket on Moxley, but then that's Moxley having the title legitimately almost an entire year.
Yeah, it's a long time.
He hasn't done anything with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say,
would you guys consider this a success?
I mean, I think it's hard to I put like this in terms of opinion. I've enjoyed the matches he's had, but in terms of his reign, I think he did suffer a little bit because of that's the thing. They're already going to be under a microscope. We tried to discuss it last time. Being scrutinized versus having the leniency and people allowing things to slide and stuff like that. Obviously, they're on a thicker microscope, I think, because they're newer and everyone's, they're making sure they're holding up to their word as being this alternative. But then they see him in there with the XWE guys, so I think that hurt him a little bit. But not to say the matches or the programs weren't good. It's just people wanted to see these new faces they were talking about. Right. I think another thing that hurt him was the fact that they weren't dealing with the full crowd. I mean, I was there when he won. It was awesome.
He walks through the crowd. He's very interactive.
It's very much part of his whole deal and how he, what I mean? I'm not here to say that, his promos would have been better if he was in front of a live crowd, because the stuff that he filmed, those were great. All the stuff that he did where he did like pre-tapes and stuff like that in the desert and at the bars and stuff, he was cutting great promos against the guys he was up against and helping them look good too. In the promos, but
I don't fully think it's entirely on his fault. I do think AEW's at fault for some of the feuds they've built where they're like Brody Lee just debuted and then they're gonna have him go against Brody Lee and then like MJF, who I think him and Moxley would have been really dope in front of a crowd. They kind of pulled the trigger a little too early. Yeah, and now we're looking at him having like, in my opinion, his third legitimate feud is now with Eddie Kingston. Like, and AEW is in a tight area because like when they first started, it's like, are we going to give all our opportunities to elite guys, or are we going to give all our opportunities to ex-WWE guys? And then the AEW guys, there's really not a lot.
Win, right? You can't win.
There's not really a lot of just pure
AEW
guys,
and it's hard to get it's hard to give opportunities to the guys that aren't built up 100% yet, because these are guys that are supposed to be these homegrown AEW guys. So it gets a little. I mean, I don't know if they painted themselves in that corner. One would say, they're the ones who are, obviously signing these guys, but, they did just lose a guy to WWE. I know Baca would be happy about that.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Ben Carter.
Oh, Carter.
Yeah, Ben Carter.
I don't know how that his name was Ben Quinn.
He's like, well, I would have been happier if it was Ben Quinn. You're like, who's Ben Quinn? I don't know, but I don't know who the fuck Ben Carter is.
I'm Googling him right now.
He had a match with Scorpio Sky.
Apparently he did really good on Dark, and WWE was like, over.
Good for him, man. They should just sign everybody. They got the money, right? They got that Fox money.
I don't know. I mean, well, you got Jake Hager pretty much calling out Stephanie McMahon over that shit right now.
Which is weird because Jake Hager is a very conservative Republican guy, and he's all over here talking about wrestlers having like benefits and shit.
That's what was funny to me. I was like, dude, you're kind of like this.
You want Andrew, and he tagged Andrew Yang, who's a Democrat. And
and I was like, man, that's what made me.
Wrestlers need benefits, but America doesn't need health insurance. So that's what he's saying, right?
He said, "We, the people, need medical insurance."
Hey, fuck that guy, dude. You could tell just looking at him where he stands with everything.
Who you talking about?
I don't want to tip my hand where I stand, but
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a huge Jake Hager fan, but this political storm we've been in, and some of the things I've seen him retweet and stuff.
100%.
I'm like, hey man, I can't.
Don't you just fall back? don't like if you're Jake Hager, don't you just not retweet those things? You have to put that out there. Don't you just fall back so you don't.
I mean,
you don't. I
mean, but we know that they told LeBron to just shut up and dribble. You know what I mean? So
Nah, that's different.
Shut. Is it? I mean,
that's 100% different.
He had the Forgotten Sons that were kind of outspoken a couple months ago on Twitter, and
Jake Hager's a little bit more quiet about it. Like he'll just kind of retweet something, and then he was a lot more
quiet. Remember who his manager used to be? What do you mean he's quiet about it?
No, but I mean, like
he said, "I got this great gimmick."
but that was kind of before like.
Oh man, it's been like
summer. You know what I mean?
This for 100 years, man.
I feel like Jake Hager's been at least quiet this summer.
I got a hot take for you guys. What if we reboot? Re-debut the Forgotten Sons, right? But they come back with a manager, and it's JBL.
Hey, I'll pop for it. Don't be heels. I'm down with it.
They don't talk. He talks for them.
Yeah.
So that way he gets in trouble if it's not them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not that I'm.
JBL could retweet something from Trump, and everyone would be like, "Oh man, he's just
that guy."
That's just JBL. That's just JBL being JBL.
Like, Jackson Riker does it. It's like, hey, you piece of shit, NXT call up.
It's like just keeping up kayfabe and just keeping up kayfabe.
Those guys, they had a big push coming, right? They had those vignettes and all that stuff, and then
they were on SmackDown. I think they had like one match or two or something like that, and then
I don't even know if they had a match.
Man,
I just know they had those promos.
Maybe they
give credit for everyone speaking up though.
What's up?
I do give credit for everyone speaking up against Jackson Riker, but
I felt bad.
But in hindsight, think about if you're his teammate, right? If you're in his tag.
Yeah, you're about to have a match with the New Day, probably at WrestleMania.
Yeah, probably going to get New Day for Forgotten Sons, which maybe we can still do. I'll pop for that, 100%. The New Day come back. They come back for WrestleMania. They go against Forgotten Sons. They take a knee in the middle of the ring. New Day.
They're dressed like the Proud Boys.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Trump doesn't. Wait, what if Trump didn't get elected and he comes back as manager?
He'll be the first president / Hall of Famer to come back for that WrestleMania. Is that how it goes? He's still trying to put points on the board.
Forgotten Son, stand up, stand back.
Fucking A. God. Hey, let me ask you guys something. I know you're a huge fan of Retribution. Baca, how'd you feel about that?
I'm not a huge fan of Retribution.
No. You're the biggest fan.
No. I'm not gonna have you spin that. I'm a huge fan of Retribution.
I don't
think it's that bad.
I don't think it's that big a stretch.
You guys are just so disgusted every time Retribution comes on TV.
Well,
I don't think it's that bad. You guys are just killing it. That's what I have an issue with. I feel like I have to go the extra mile.
Can Mia Yim just not look like Mia Yim?
I feel like I have to go the extra mile to.
Why don't you just show up? It's like they called her right before the show was about to start. Like, hey, just show up.
Hey, just put this on your face. Just okay.
I'm not saying it could not have been better. But
no.
What matters, you guys painted.
No. What I want to ask though is like, because I didn't agree with them doing what they did. I don't know if you saw it, but they had the Fiend pretty much whoop all of them single-handedly.
Yeah, he whooped their ass. Yeah.
I mean,
they're saying it's going to be the Fiend and what's his name?
T-Bar
at Hell in a Cell.
Hey, why'd you make
not Mustafa?
No way.
Shut the fuck up.
They said they just talked about it a couple minutes ago.
No, you shut the fuck up.
Because Hell in a Cell only has 4 announced matches right now.
Why can't it be Mustafa Ali?
Maybe the same Mustafa.
If I hear that announcement,
I can't.
Yeah,
right
so
now,
it's gonna have the Fiend. Homeboy from Retribution tweeted that there will be hell to pay, and he capitalized hell, which obviously means he's going to fight a Hell in a Cell.
I mean, but no one wants to see it. Like because that's
why I
want
to see the Fiend wrestle
against T-Bar. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'd rather just have the Fiend stay. Hey, yo, Bray, just stay home, man. Do a Firefly Funhouse.
Dude, I mean,
I think the Fiend and the Alexa Bliss. I think all that stuff's amazing.
Like,
I'd rather see Alexa Bliss versus like Mia Yim.
Yeah, 100%.
It's going to be a 4-minute match, guys. It's probably going to be a 2-minute match. 4 minutes with the entrance. He's going to walk down.
But that's my thing. Is like, why are they burying them now?
Because they need to fill out the card. That's what they need to do.
No, they're burying them because
no.
Twitter, I think.
Because of what?
They're on Twitter.
Yeah.
I think that's what it might be. They're trying to push themselves and.
Well, that's what happened with Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin was outspoken about concussions, and they had him lose the Money in the Bank in a way that made him look extremely stupid.
I'm not gonna lie to you though.
I mean, it was against John Cena, so
I'm not a fan
On SmackDown,
of
he
Retribution.
lost. It wasn't against John Cena,
but I'm gonna
John Cena he helped him lose though.
Yeah. On a random SmackDown, a month after he won the.
Hey, yo, John. I need you
Yeah.
to do a job for me.
100%. That's what happens, man.
You gotta teach this guy a lesson.
You don't go against the family. You want to go against the family, you get
the trouble.
I'm gonna say this though. I did not hate Mustafa Ali's promo later that night.
Wow, look at you. I'll take that compliment for WWE. I did not hate it. I'll take it.
No. I mean, it was funny because I heard that they might visit this. Like, I got a little notification on my phone, and it was like, attention.
From Mustafa Ali?
It said WWE may actually do something that makes sense tonight on Raw. I was like, wait, what?
What type of apps do you have?
Bro, I subscribe.
You got that Fightful Select?
Dude, I got a bunch. I'm on a bunch of different wrestling websites. So if something new comes in, it'll give me some
notifications.
YouTube?
Yeah, I'm saying who's sending you these notifications?
Oh no, it's these websites. Yeah, telling me so and so or like.
Me and you, we on different websites, Kwency. We're on different websites.
I mean, yeah, I don't go by WrestleTalk and get pissed off all the time.
I just think it's fucking stupid, man.
Dude, I don't even watch them to even like not be on your side about it.
It really does just drive me nuts, man. It really does.
Is it more so the AEW stuff or the lack of NXT stuff?
It's a clear bias against WWE for AEW. That's what gets me upset. At least let's talk about it. Let's say at least admit it, but don't say that we'll calm down straight down the middle.
I do think they give WWE some slack though. Even when they have an average show, they'll say, "Hey, this is better than some of the other ones," so it's a 3 out of 5.
Absolutely not. That's what gets me upset.
I'm not going to defend them,
but AEW gets 5 out of 5 every single week, and you know WWE has
5 out of 5 every week.
Then WWE
they got
do
5
better.
out of 5 this week, and they got 5 out of 5 last week too.
Then do better.
Yeah, do better.
Yeah, okay.
So ratings
they have great things going on.
Apparently, they don't think so.
Pat McAfee main evented NXT this week while AEW put on 4.
I don't care. They don't even cover NXT. They don't cover NXT. I don't care about that. I'm talking about like SmackDown's really good. I know you guys hate to admit that.
They've been giving SmackDown 4 out of 5.
I said that SmackDown's been killing it more than Raw's been killing it.
I agree.
SmackDown overall is better than AEW some weeks.
Yeah,
that's true. They're gonna be listening in, man.
They're not in regards to like who possibly has the best 2 hours a weekly. I mean, SmackDown may have both of them beat, to be honest, on a consistent basis. But you know,
but SmackDown's always like 1 or 2 segments away from being like a 2 out of 5 show. So I'm just
yeah, you know.
Well, it's only an hour. It's only an hour and 15 minutes.
If Roman Reigns isn't carrying that weight, if Roman Reigns has like an off week or he's not on TV or they just have a bullshit segment, SmackDown goes all the way down to a 2 or 3. But when Roman's there, it's 4 or 5.
So you're telling me you enjoy Roman Reigns being
on
television?
Actually,
is that what you're telling me? You enjoy Roman Reigns being on television?
I think they actually gained a point automatically once Braun Strowman left the show, so that there's that too.
Braun, he had so much momentum, and now he's just I can't.
Bro, I mean, we'll see, but that's another point I forgot to bring up earlier. We were talking about Tyson Fury, like. Yeah, for the sake of entertainment, that totally ruined Braun Strowman, dude. Like that. I mean, you know, like it didn't.
I think there was a few things that contributed to his downfall.
I mean, yeah.
But he had so much momentum, man. He was
not single-handedly, no, but it definitely contributed to a lot of the things that are already going bad for him. I mean, to know that he was already at that level without even winning a championship first, I was like,
100%, man.
Oh, okay.
And then he got to, even when he got to Intercontinental, it didn't feel special, and it sure as hell didn't feel special when he got the Universal title.
No, dude.
I mean, it was great that
to happen. It was great that he, obviously there was that underlining feeling of that, but it was great that he took it away from Goldberg. So there was that.
I agree. Well, I got news for you. We got Roman Reigns versus Goldberg coming up soon.
I really hope not, dude.
It's already up. It's already up. He was in the crowd. They were all talking on the time.
But Mark Henry was in the crowd.
No, man.
Yes, he was.
He tweeted. Goldberg tweeted, I have an interest in tonight's big match, Phil, is an understatement. I'll see you guys soon.
First of all, he didn't tweet it. His son did.
Okay, that's fine. I don't think his son did. I don't think his son knows how to use electronics.
It better be to bury
his son's like
somebody
15
else
years old, dude.
I understand. I know how old his son is. Have you seen his son step in the ring? I don't think he knows how to use electronics.
What's
that poor kid took his t-shirt off.
I think all he does is touch electronics and not get.
I want to see Goldberg. I want to see Goldberg just spear the shit out of and jackhammer Dominic Mysterio and just send him back to NXT, dude.
Sign me up for that. I'm down. I'm always down for that.
Man, too bad we never got Goldberg versus Jericho. You know, modern day times. You know what I mean? Because
I'm sure they always hint that Goldberg's a free agent, could go over there, but.
I mean, nobody wants his old ass over
Brock
there.
Lesnar's a free agent. You see, Brock Lesnar is on the intro for the new UFC game as well.
Is he?
Yep.
Is he allowed to do that even though you're like technically not signed?
He's not signed to anybody.
Oh, I guess The Rock, he did the intro for the Super Bowl earlier this year. So
I guess you could.
He's not signed to WWE. You cannot purchase Brock Lesnar merchandise on WWE.com.
Well, that's because that's because his merchandising deal has run out. Yeah.
So. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm excited about Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, but
I was going to say, is that something you want to say?
No, not at all. But they never got that matchup.
But the thing is, in my opinion, title matches at the Royal Rumble are always like big deals, but they also mean nothing. So
they don't mean anything.
Well, that's not true.
If you want to do it, then just go for it.
Well, that's not true because if there's the Royal Rumble and it does kind of matter because the winner of the Royal Rumble is like looking at who he can potentially call out.
But when was the last time we had someone lose their title?
But nobody's ever lost the title, the heavyweight championship at
CM Punk.
Oh, to The Rock. Okay, that
but that was obviously setting something up bigger, you know.
Yeah,
and it was bigger. I know you guys don't want to talk about it, but that was the right move.
No, it wasn't.
They couldn't.
The right move was a triple threat, bro.
Triple threat.
100%.
You build off the momentum of having your world champion.
Bro, because dare I say the title wouldn't have been that important for The Rock to have to come back to take it had it not been for CM Punk.
You don't do triple threats at WrestleMania. That's not
what do you mean? You don't do triple threats at WrestleMania? They just did it they did it at WrestleMania with Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte. They did it with
Shawn Michaels, Triple H.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that one up as well. They did it technically. They had what?
They've had 2 out of 4
years. No, they had 3. They had what's his name? Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan had to go against Kingston and Randy Orton.
That was a triple threat because they put those 2 and Edge. You're right, but they put those 2 in the heavyweight championship, and then they said, "Fuck, we got to put this Daniel Bryan kid up. This little dirty hippie back there.
This Batista thing ain't paying off."
So why didn't they do the same thing? They were like, "Oh fuck, we should probably put CM Punk in this."
Yeah, you can't compare. I don't know.
I mean, because who do you have? Did you have Undertaker that year?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I wasn't watching wrestling back then.
Which was a really good match, you know. And if on paper was the most talked about match I think on that card.
I believe so.
I really do enjoy the John Cena, The Rock matchups. I think they're great.
I'm
super excited for Roman Reigns.
I like the second one more than I like the first one, to be honest.
The one where The Rock got like a hernia.
yeah, dude doing his own move and he tore his rib off his abductor. Freaking dude. Yeah.
Well, dude, there is a such thing as ring rust. I know we don't want to talk about it, but that thing.
We talking about the Rock be clanging and banging, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
There's a difference between clanging and banging as opposed to actually getting in the ring with somebody else and working safely.
I mean, but this is like I'm like if I was Stone Cold and I hit a stunner and then I crushed my tailbone, I'd be totally.
What is your favorite wrestling moment of all time?
Wrestling.
Sorry, one more time.
Wrestling or WrestleMania?
No, your favorite wrestling moment of all time.
Fuck, that's hard. I don't know if I can give you my ultimate.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious when I say this. My favorite wrestling moment of all time was when The Rock first came back to SmackDown. He's calling out Stone Cold Steve Austin, and then Booker T comes out, and then The Rock kind of just looks.
Oh,
and he goes, "Who in the blue hell
are you?"
That's my favorite moment.
You know, they said Booker T never. They said he never recovered from that, just getting squashed like that. You know, what I'm saying?
I mean, because he did the same thing with Billy Gunn. He did that whole promo where he's like, "God, it's me, Billy."
Yeah.
And he's like,
"God, it's me, Billy."
It doesn't matter what you like. God doesn't even know who you are. Like, I'm like, that's horrible. Like, and they were trying to get Billy over at that time as a.
Is Billy Gunn not with AEW anymore?
Yeah.
He's talk about.
He's an official trainer and also crowd filler, seat filler.
There you go.
I really do.
I'll take that gig.
I would. Yeah. A nice month-long feud or whatever where like the Guns kind of get a shot at the titles. Like they'll lose, but I think it would be really good for his son.
I've said this before. I think that
so we're just doing stuff that's good for his.
I feel like Austin Gunn and Brian Pillman Jr. should join up as a tag team and be the Hollywood Blonde, like the new Hollywood Blondes.
That would be dope.
Only
That'd be dope.
because there's a Hollywood in California, there's a Hollywood in Cleveland or Ohio, and then there's a Hollywood in Florida as well.
Wow, look at you pulling out the geography. I know
Hey,
Brian
man.
appreciate that.
I did. I just see me get like I got a little moist.
Me and Brian had a whole podcast one time about how many
Geography.
states can you name. Yeah, it was great.
Dude, I wish I was there. I would have got down, bro.
I didn't do good at all.
What?
Yeah.
For
Surprised
someone
the
who like
kid that didn't graduate
sports,
8th grade.
For someone who likes
that's
sports,
how I
like
remember
you
it
do,
too.
You would
yeah.
think you think you would know more.
You're like,
I
what state are they from
can't
again?
point them out. I can't point them out on the map. I can name all the states. I can't point them out on the map and say that one's South Dakota, that one's North Dakota, that one's Maine. I was really impressed, man. I'm sure that came up when you were trying to court your future wife, man. You know,
I was like, hey, I could point Iowa on the map.
Yeah. She's like, damn, boy, you know the Dakotas. I like your style.
Between that and your knowledge of wrestling, on a random SmackDown where Booker T came out and The Rock called him out.
I'm
a true underdog story, dude. Like,
amen,
bro. First of all, that's not a random SmackDown. That's one of those SmackDowns everybody remembers.
Yeah. But not the casual fan, I'll tell you that.
I don't even know I couldn't even tell you what my favorite moment is, bro. I have like favorite moments, like
yeah.
You know what I mean?
There's too many, man. There's too many.
Because there's things that I didn't appreciate till I was older, and I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
Like the Braun Bannies match, right? I hate it.
You know, that was just a revolution in women's wrestling, you know, that would totally underappreciated.
My favorite moment is when Trish Stratus got on all fours and started barking like a dog.
Bro, when I watched that when I watched that as a girl, man, I was like, this is horrible. Like this is
it's unbelievable, dude.
Like, I look back on some of that stuff and
it's
like,
crazy.
Dude, like
I don't even think they got paid a lot to do all that.
Dude, I mean, there's even times I grew up an ECW fan, so I would watch like some stuff. I watched that back, and I'm like, dude, when I was watching the Dark Side of the Ring with New Jack, and I remember watching some of this younger and not flinching. Now I'm just like wincing and like, oh shit, like, yo, he for sure was stabbing that dude. Like,
we've all stubbed our toes before, you know.
Bro, yeah, right. It's fucking. I was desensitized for some reason as a kid, and I got older. I was like, yo, this guy was an actual murderer in the ring. Like,
New Jack follows me on Instagram, and I don't follow him back.
Hey, we love you, New Jack.
He doesn't put up too much interesting content.
We would love to get you on the show.
I'll DM him right now, man. Let's DM New Jack and see if he responds.
He'd be like, what the fuck is this shit?
I'm gonna put the money back at the end. I'll pay him $20 to show up, right?
He's gonna want. I don't know.
How much you think New Jack is gonna want to be here for 10 minutes?
I'm just glad it's gonna be over Zoom. I
would pay him more to stay at home and be on Zoom than to pay him $20.
No, that's what I mean. For him to jump on Zoom, how much you think he's gonna want?
He's gonna want like he's a handshake and a hot dog.
I wish I could show you. You see, it says you can't see it. It says follow back. I'm not gonna follow him back. New Jack does everything I want to post. Hey, what's up, New Jack? My name's Baca.
Doesn't want to seem too thirsty on New Jack.
I am a part of a wrestling podcast. We record every week via Zoom. I would love to get you on. Money bag emoji. Let me know. All right, let's see.
He's gonna be like, oh, why'd you only drop one money bag? I wanted to see 3 bags.
Listen,
I've never seen $20 in a bag before.
I'll give New Jack $150 if he could jump on 10 minutes. I will cover that cost.
So what we do is we go to the Spirit Halloween store and get like the money bag prop, and because that's what you told him you were gonna give him. You didn't necessarily say there was money per se. You said a money bag. That's what I remember. I mean, let this episode serve as evidence. So we love you, New Jack. Don't kill us.
You scare us. That's why.
So let me guys ask you this: what do you think they're going to be doing with the Fiend? Do you think he's going to be going up against Randy?
I think eventually.
That's why he had the cross.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like,
I was wondering about that because shit, that's where that was from. Because it was on fire when they had their. Because I was thinking, I'm like, with him on Raw, they obviously could run that shit back from, the whole Wyatt family shit. Mm-hmm. With that stupid ass projection with the bugs and shit at WrestleMania 30 with a 31.
That was so stupid.
I'm not gonna lie though, if they did that in a match again, just real quick, like as a little like
wink to the
like a flashback throwback to that, even though it sucked. Like,
well, because it's funny
so
they've talked about it on Twitter before, like them two. They're like, yeah, can we just not do that this time if we run it back? And I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, At least you guys are in character, like acknowledging.
Or
Yeah, that shit was dumb. Like
if they have like a weird Firefly segment, like weird thing, they could just like have it like happen on like a wall or something behind him, just to like have a quick throwback to like how bad that was. I would, you know what, I would really like though, if for whatever reason Edge just can't come back by Mania, if they did have that match at Mania.
The Fiend versus Randy.
Yeah,
I think that'd be good.
But I do think they're counting on Edge, so I wouldn't be surprised if that becomes like a winner. Dude.
Like, would I watch the match? Yes. Do I want to watch WrestleMania specifically for that match? No.
No, but you guys are going to pay $50 to see this Puerto Rican kid versus Jon Moxley.
Well, you guys could pay. I'm not going to pay. I'm actually going to be working that night. I'm going to be working the
GSF.
No, it's GCF.
GCF. I'm sorry, GCF.
Gold Coast Federation November Rain show. I'm gonna be doing double duty.
Me and Jamal, we're gonna have a mini YouTube episode. There's gonna be one episode where I go to Orange County, and he shows me around, and he's gonna come to the Valley, and I'm gonna show him around. I told him I don't feel safe being a black man in Orange County, but he assured me that I'm gonna be safe. So
can you assure him that Van Nuys is not gonna suck?
I can't do that.
No, you can't go
to Pacoima. We're stepping up a couple notches. We're going to Pacoima.
Hey, I'm not going to take you to where I'm at. I'm just going to take you.
Take the hood, homie.
You're going to take him to Packtown?
So let's do this. Are we going to do predictions for Hell in a Cell? Each of us put up $2.
$2?
$2? Come on, Ryan. $2. So the winner's going to get a total of 6. Let's do it. I just need some action.
Well, on what? Are we betting on just one match, or?
We're gonna do the card. We're gonna say.
Well, first of all,
okay. Let me ask you this: Going to Raw does this.
How about we just do the 3 cell matches? How about that?
Okay, I'm down with that.
Should we do confidence points? So the person who puts the most confidence points toward each match, if you win, you get that amount of points. So like, there's 3 matches, so you could have a total of 1 through 3 confidence points. Like if you give one match 3 points, you got to give the other matches 1 or 2. Whoever has the most confidence points is at the end. Because these matches
we're all going to pick the same. You're right.
So
let's do it. You up first, Kwency.
Which match?
Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso.
It's Roman Reigns, man.
Roman Reigns, 3 confidence points.
I'm doing the same thing. Trade. All right, Sasha Banks versus Bayley, Women's Championship.
I'm gonna do a 1 confident point for Sasha.
I'm stepping in. I'm doing 2 confidence points for Sasha Banks, and she's going to lose the next time she defends.
I'm going 1 confident point for Bayley.
Okay, I'll go back and listen to this, and we'll figure out who won. What's the last one? We got Drew McIntyre versus Randy.
I'm gonna throw 2 points down for Drew McIntyre.
I'm gonna throw 2 points down for Drew as well.
I'm gonna put a point down for Randy Keith Orton. Because there's no way. Listen,
of course, we knew that.
I know it sounds crazy, but listen, there's no way that he loses 3 straight times, right?
I mean, if he wants to help build him, yeah. I mean,
3 straight times losing the same guy.
I mean,
Randy, you're gonna drop these first 2. We're gonna give you the championship.
He actually gave him his first
chase after him.
He gave him his first pinfall.
Yeah.
In the whole year. So they kind of gave it back to him.
So we all gave Roman 3 confidence points, right? I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And then I gave Sasha 2.
I gave Sasha. I gave Sasha 1.
Okay, and I gave Bayley 1. You gave Sasha.
Oh, you going Bayley? You're not going Sasha?
Yeah, I'm going Bayley 1.
Wow, look at you.
Honestly, she's doing great with the champ. I mean, she's had the title for a while.
Is she? I think she's doing awful.
Well,
she's had it for so long now, man.
Well, I think her heel character development's done well. I think more than her feud.
I could see Sasha and Bayley at least carrying 2 Royal Rumble, and I don't think they necessarily need to change the title at the first event.
I mean, I could see where they give Sasha the championship and then give her the win for the retain finally.
And it also depends on if Survivor Series is going to be brand-on-brand warfare or if it's just going to be another pay-per-view.
No, I mean, Survivor Series.
Well, I was going to say, because if they don't, then there's going to be 2 of every match, right?
Yeah, well, imagine just Retribution wearing those Raw shirts.
Oh, fuck. Fucking
That's the thing I hate the most.
Slapjack has a red mask on.
Yeah, I hate when they have to make everyone wear those stupid T-shirts, man.
Dude, everyone knows who's. I mean, I get it. I mean, or at least
I think it's for the cash. I think it's for the kids, so the kids know who's who.
I guess, but it's. I mean, if they're all on one side of the ring.
You want to talk about favorite wrestling moments? Top 5, which is saying a lot from all the years I've been watching wrestling. Not Sasha Banks. It can't be that big of a moment if I don't remember the name. Becky Lynch standing there with her arms open, saying "Bring it on!" The blood going down the face. It made a superstar, man. I really do miss Becky Lynch.
I'm not gonna lie. The last 2 Survivor Series, I believe, had really good moments leading up to them.
Dude,
like the NXT
there's
really good moments.
There's been rumors that Vince is trying to pressure her to come back, like right when the freaking baby pops.
He's trying to negotiate now.
And that's what's insane. I'm like, you don't think Seth they're not gonna want time off to fucking raise this kid, dude?
I don't think Seth gives a fuck, if we're being honest.
Because he's it was immaculate.
He doesn't seem like the greatest guy. Right. We talk about this every episode. He does not seem like he's a great guy.
He's like,
we talk about Natural Hill. This guy's an atheist. He doesn't believe there's any God.
Is he an atheist?
I know Brian feels the same way.
Cody Rhodes is atheist.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's like, hey, do you think Beck? He's like looking at Becky. He's like, do you think I'm going to miss my bill to the Royal Rumble?
Yeah. 100%. Don't you think this guy
who's going to tell Dominic that he's not good at wrestling if I'm not on Raw on SmackDown?
This baby was a mistake, right? We could all agree on that.
Who do you think's going to put Dominic in his place for the greater good? It's got to be me.
This baby was a mistake. You think Steph's going to stop his career for this bastard kid? I don't think so, man.
I mean, if it was a mistake, it would have been taken care of, right?
I don't know. Not if Becky Lynch believes in certain things.
I mean, but he doesn't believe in God, so.
You think he's just going to push it down a flight of stairs? That's go both ways, man.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Well,
first of all,
just because you believe in God doesn't mean that you're just
that wouldn't even work. That wouldn't even work because
Becky
Becky used to be a stunt woman and a rodeo clown, so you got to know what you're doing.
There was a lot of they said there's a lot of interest for Becky in the acting field. They said that Marvel is looking to give her a award.
I heard she's supposed to be doing. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you want
Sorry,
to
Brian, too much God talk for you.
No, I was gonna say, let's put some money on this. So the baby's supposed to be delivered in December, right?
I think Becky Lynch is a good woman.
On Christmas, actually, yes.
Okay, so CrossFit Jesus.
It's gonna be hilarious.
So WrestleMania is 4 months after that, and even if they wanted to pull it off last minute, I'm sure Vince would be like, "Oh fuck yeah."
Yeah.
I'm sure if the baby's 4 months old, I'm sure she'll come out for a weekend, right?
But so let's just say little build.
The Undertaker was never there for the John Cena build.
They could do very little build with Ronda. Do you think the match happens? Want to put $5 on if the match happens?
No,
I'll take that. I don't think it's going to happen because if you have Ronda and Becky, there's going to be so much anticipation. They want to do it right.
If they're gonna, I was gonna say if they're gonna do it, they're gonna make sure that Becky is gonna be able to put on the match because with her being out and then raising a kid for 4 well I'm just saying just in general, like I wouldn't expect her after that like 9 months off and then for another 4 months leading up to WrestleMania
just
not
to jump
showing up.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, and against Ronda Rousey.
We need to save that airtime for the celebrities, man.
I didn't she like have a match with like Asuka while she was pregnant or something? She probably got like kicked hard in the stomach.
I don't know. I mean, if you notice, she because it makes sense why she didn't have that the championship match. Money in the bank.
That's exactly saying she knew she was pregnant at that point. That's why she didn't have it. There's no way she does it. But I'll take your action, fine. You were saying it happens.
No, I'm saying it doesn't happen.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I'll give you 2 to 1.
Honestly, like if it doesn't, I don't really see. I don't know if I see Ronda coming back.
I don't see.
She's training.
Also,
there's money for her to still make on the table.
She's
but
training,
I don't know.
Man.
But I'm saying that I think the moment.
You think she's just wrestling for? You think she's training? For what? Just because she loves it?
Bellator? I don't know.
It also, to be honest, it also.
I don't know if she might not wrestle again. I fucking know she ain't fighting again. I know that for a fact.
I'm gonna throw this out there to you though. I also the match I think has to happen if there's fans. If there's not gonna be fans, they're just gonna. We're just gonna see Street Profits versus Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I mean it's the same
That's
reason why.
Next, right?
I mean,
we got 2 months of that happening.
When you think about it, all they really did was furlough Brock Lesnar, right? Because they knew it's like, why would we spend money paying this guy when there's no fans here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they pretty much said, yeah, we'll don't worry about it. We'll sign you back when the fans come back. I mean, because think about how much they pay him per date, where they only have him only certain dates, and it's like they're gonna pay him for what?
Well, okay. Keep in mind too, Goldberg is supposed to only have 2 matches a year. He technically
Goldberg.
Already had his 2 matches, right?
He needs to just look at his son.
Is this building to next year? Like, I'm okay if they just knock it out and they just knock it out like on the SmackDown in February. Like, we don't really care. Just have
okay, you want to talk about odds? What do you think the odds are that Goldberg has a match at WrestleMania? Not main event, but I guarantee
he'll have a match if you're as serious and you're not like just putting on just to piss me off about this Goldberg thing, and they're really planning this out.
They talk about it all the time, dude. Look
Where?
at the streams.
But against who?
That's
Do you think
what I'm
do you think it's against Braun Strowman? Because
That's why I don't know.
No,
It shouldn't be for a
it's
title.
against Roman. You don't think that Vince McMahon wants to have Roman Reigns versus Goldberg?
Well, I mean,
you don't
there-
think Vince
there
McMahon
was-
wants that?
well,
oh,
there
man,
was-
I
there was-
disconnected my.
he is feeling. Well, obviously, that was the original match before he decided not to work Mania. So I get it, but
the only way Goldberg versus Roman happens is if they for some reason can't get The Rock, and then
I don't see those. I would love for that to happen. I don't see there's any way that this liberal
It's a bigger
state
draw.
lets
It's a bigger
fans
draw.
come to SoFi Stadium. I think they're gonna have WrestleMania like in maybe Texas.
I think it's gonna be in
Florida.
Tampa. It's gonna be in Tampa.
I heard Tampa. I mean, because that's originally where it was supposed to be this year.
Dude, the World Series has 10,000 people in the stands. It's nuts, dude.
It's in Texas though. Texas.
It's in Texas. Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
saying.
a lawless wasteland, dude.
Yeah.
Everything's bigger.
Texas,
in
where
Texas,
real men live, dude. Not over here with these liberal assholes.
Oh, because they get to walk into the mall with that thing on their hip legally.
Yeah.
The gunslingers say that's what you loving.
Hey man, we love Gavin Newsom though, right?
Yeah, we got to get back to work. I mean, like, right? You know.
No, that's
I-
all right.
no,
You're enjoying it right now, Brian?
Look,
I work from home.
I need to put
living
on
life.
wrestling.
I get
events.
paid.
I need to do wrestling events. I need to go to wrestling events.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need some. I mean, I'm not trying to get sick. I'm not trying to be like Joey Janela or. Anybody.
I'm not gonna risk
Joey
my
Janela
life.
got COVID?
I mean, dude, that show that GCW and like I think it was like Ring of Honor and a few like AEW guys were at, dude. They had all these fans bunched up with no masks on, and then towards the end of the show, people were complaining about like stomach problems and shit. And,
By the end of the show, before they even left.
yeah, bro.
I am not going to risk my life to see the Riot Squad get another opportunity. At
Hell
the
yeah,
tag
man.
Titles.
It's totally worth it.
Well, what if you get Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode versus Street
Oh,
Profits?
dude, shut up.
Oh,
I'm right
time.
there, bro.
Oh,
You know I
my-
love me some
Look,
Bobby
I'm telling
Roode.
you guys, we have that coming for the next 2 months, man. It's unbelievable. It's going to happen. You know.
I would love. I mean, or who's your perfect besides The Rock or like Goldberg? Because to me, obviously, The Rock's the bigger draw.
Oh,
Roman,
there's
you know what I mean?
There's no doubt. There's not a draw bigger than The Rock.
But with them two out, who would you personally like? Anybody that's currently on the roster, who would you have Roman face
on
at Mania?
SmackDown?
Yeah,
Seth Rollins.
I would think so. That'd be
Well,
actually pretty
isn't
good.
Seth Rollins going to be out too? He's not going to take time off.
No, we
Might take a
agree.
week off.
We don't.
Bro, yeah, dude, you know how many new people he can like tear the eyes out of now? He's on SmackDown. Like he has a lot of work. Well, I don't know because you had Murphy that just there might be just him and Murphy.
I would love to see Daniel Bryan versus Roman Reigns at
Oh,
WrestleMania.
dude, you guys want to hear my action? They're probably gonna put Seth Rollins versus Murphy on Hell in a
On
Cell.
a free
Right?
show.
I could see that. They should.
I mean, they need to do something.
I'm looking up this roster right now because I know SmackDown has new guys.
And then what is TLC is in December, right?
Usually it is.
So can we get a ladder match for Otis to have the Money in the Bank briefcase defended and have him lose it? Can we do that?
Oh, to the Miz. So Miz could also lose the cash in.
Somebody, I think was it John Morrison? Yeah, he needs to get it.
This is what needs to happen, and I'm just gonna throw it out there to you guys, and I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna throw it out there. I want to see some way or another if they could pull this off in a weird way where Tucker is also under disguise, and we get Heavy Machinery winning the titles on SmackDown, but also winning them on Raw, but the two different tag partners are in disguise, and then that unifies the titles.
So it's like anytime they're on SmackDown, like Tucker's dressed up, but then anytime they're on Raw, then it's like freaking.
Yeah.
I mean, he became was it El Gran Gordo? On
How
Raw?
entertaining
That
would
was funny,
be?
man. That was funny.
Like that'd be entertaining. People would.
I mean, those two would be the ones to be able to pull it off for sure. I mean, but they're. I don't know.
I'm down for a ladder match with the Money in the Bank on the line, but I would still probably have Otis win because I think that also is a weird way to like get if Otis could kind of build some momentum between now and then to get a little bit more popular like he was, and then beat the Miz in another ladder match to kind of win the Money in the Bank twice. I don't think they could give it to anyone who's a legit cash-in contender anyways at this point. Like it's not like the Miz is going to be that much better in terms of like us thinking he's going to successfully cash in.
Him versus Drew, I don't know if I mean, and that's pending if Drew even has it. I mean, yeah. I mean, the only reason I was thinking someone like John Morrison is because I could see John Morrison, maybe it's a triple threat match, and they think, Miz is thinking they have like a 2-on-1 advantage, but then John actually grabs it for himself.
John
and
Morrison
turn
winning the
kind
title
of.
would be cool.
I mean, because I was gonna say him turning face on Miz. Them two could fight for the next 2 months. Morrison and Miz. You know what I mean?
I wouldn't mind, but I just think like it being like in this weird pocket of time before WrestleMania that they're not going to really affect the world title in any way.
Yeah, that's true. They usually don't. Yeah.
So like I doubt like John Morrison versus the Miz title feud, even though I think even if it was not for the title, it was just for the Money in the Bank or whatever, like the Money in the Bank should have serious implications, and I don't see.
Yeah, it's a shame that I got wasted this year.
So like
I could have told him that Otis shouldn't have that, man. Right?
Well, I think Otis had to cash it in almost right away, like on Braun fucking Strowman. Like Braun, who gives a fuck if Braun Strowman loses the Universal title?
Yeah, but
then he started getting this
feud.
started getting this feud with the Fiend, and then we're like, oh well, we can't have Otis cashing on the Fiend.
Yeah, but you're saying
now we
cares
can't
about Braun
cash on
Strowman having it. Who cares about Otis having it?
He's gonna cash it on Jey Uso.
Oh, that would be fuck.
It's believable though if it was Jey Uso. You know what I mean? I mean, or he could cash in on Goldberg after Goldberg beats Roman. Nobody would be mad at that.
Roman isn't losing that championship for at least a year.
Imagine though,
at least
Goldberg.
Dude, how over would
I would be out. I think that might be it. I think that I have so much going on in my life right now. I think that might be it. I think I'll be done with wrestling if that happens.
If Otis wins the championship,
if Goldberg wins over Roman Reigns, I think I'll be out.
What if Goldberg's facing Drew and then Otis cashes in on Goldberg, basically to take the title back to the WWE, and then Drew McIntyre just fucking like squashes him on Raw and gets the title back.
I have so much going on right now. I don't even have a girlfriend. I don't have a girlfriend. I have so much going on. I'm trying to get rid of things in my life. If
you can't sit there,
I'm getting out of it. I'm out.
If you can't sit there and successfully book a Goldberg Otis situation, what the fuck are you doing?
You don't deserve to be a booker, right?
Are you saying that Otis as champion is that's more doable to you than Goldberg?
No, I don't even. I was down with the Otis and Mandy thing because it was a good comedy skit, but that shouldn't lead to the man winning the Money in the Bank suitcase. I don't get it.
It's entertainment though.
But we're in a
entertainment.
We're in a position right now.
I mean, I don't know because the ratings spoke. You're talking about the ratings. That is true.
Though.
That is true.
We can't do anything about it at this point. With both trying to figure out the best.
Does he have it, or is the Miz going to take it?
And that's what I'm saying. I think the best way to get it off him would be some sort of like
triple threat
ladder match type of situation where, because I mean, I wouldn't mind John Morrison versus McIntyre either. That's a fresh new, face in the heavyweight picture.
You want to know something that sounds very WWE, and this is them trying to overly fix it? Miz wins his court case or whatever, and he has to vacate the Money in the Bank, but it doesn't mean it goes to the Miz. It's just vacated.
Can we do it again?
And they do it again.
God damn, Brian, you did it again, man. They should honestly, somebody should call you. That's because I was thinking
so when
automatically goes to Miz, but you're saying he could go up for grabs again.
But is that when would that happen? In terms,
it would be a great
TLC. That'd be kind of cool because you can end the year that way. Because I was going to say
you get two Raw wrestlers, you get two from SmackDown, you get two from NXT. Sign me up. That'd be great.
Nah, I don't
the fair thing to do is to put Miz, Morrison, and Otis in the match, and then you pick 3 other guys.
AJ, I think that'd be cool.
And then Otis thinks he's going to win it again, and then
Brock Lesnar comes in and he grabs. Let's do it. Okay, I'm back in it. I'm back with wrestling.
So what? Then it's Brock versus Roman at Mania.
Oh, let's go! But this time,
for the
Brock
third
Lesnar's
time,
the baby face.
Yeah,
baby face Brock.
Because Paul Heyman is not on the side no more.
Yep, 100%.
Just to piss you off, Baca, I'm going to throw this out there. The 6th man or the 7th man in the Money in the Bank is Goldberg. Yeah. And Goldberg is the perfect Money in the Bank winner. If you think about it, because 2-minute matches.
Yep.
He just goes in there.
Well, the problem is he can't walk up a ladder. That's the only issue. He physically can't walk up a ladder. So
can we fuck no, see I don't even want Goldberg next to that shit.
I don't want Goldberg wrestling.
Because he's gonna leave, and then when he comes back to finally cash it in, it's gonna be a new briefcase that's spray painted gold with a stupid ass tattoo across it. And I'm like, dude, no one even remember you have it until he'd have to freaking cash in on someone that everyone hates universally.
The tribal chief versus the tribal tattoo. Sign me up, man. Let's do it.
My God!
I'm back in.
You just said that you didn't want to see.
I know,
Goldberg
but I'm back
beat him.
in. I'm back in now. So
this is me watching a Goldberg promo.
Yep.
Oh man. Hey, you know what? I want to get Jeff Jarrett involved. I saw Jeff Jarrett in the stands the other day too, man. I missed the guy. Let's
I thought that was him because
Jeff Jarrett and Elias.
Dude, they didn't even mention him.
No, they did when Laws Sullivan came out. They zoomed in on Jeff Jarrett.
Who's that?
They said Laws Sullivan.
Lars Sullivan.
So they zoomed in on Jeff Jarrett and they said Jeff Jarrett can't even believe what he saw. Also, you can't call this guy the freak after the videos he's made, right?
Well, he's been. It was a freak accident.
Listen, I understand, but they call this guy the super freak.
I think
Triple H should say we got the super freak coming. That's a little.
I think it's on purpose.
Dicey.
Yeah, I think. I mean, when you think about it, yeah, they're kind of ribbing him at this point because he's like. I bet you Vince though is like, you're one sick fucking I like. There's something about you. There's something about you, pal. I love your moxie. I love your moxie. Like, God, it's just, oh man, like there's something, because again, I hear the only supporter he has is the person who holds his feature in their hand. I'm like, that's obviously Vince. So,
well, I mean, he's a big sweaty dude, and that's what Vince is all about.
He's like, oh, I love the beard. Oh, dude, you know what's crazy? You know, Vince actually he grows a beard and he has to cut that shit every day.
Yeah, he doesn't want the beard to win.
Yeah, he has like the electric, like everyone says that he's in his from like the airport to the limo drive to the office, he's like shaving like the whole time, and I'm like, that's insane. Like I would never.
So he's a beast, man.
But it's crazy. I mean, I couldn't even imagine him. I mean, like he should have let that shit grow and come back as heel, right?
You would think, right?
He should have kept the hair bald when he got shaved, and then came back on some Lex Luthor shit. You know what I mean?
I really enjoyed the do-rag Vince. He gets a bad rap.
No, dude, fuck
do-rag Vince was dope.
So because I was having I was on a guest on a podcast the other day, and we were talking about.
What's the name of the podcast?
Podcast Legend Killers. Shout out to my boy Eddie Lynch.
Dope.
But because we were bringing up, he was talking to me about the Matt Riddle shit. You know what I mean? And just all the controversy, and obviously like the latest with the lawsuits and all this stuff going on with his marriage and just shit bleeding over into his like career. It's like it's messy as fuck. You know what I mean? He's caused WWE to get sued by some chick that he used to mess around with for $5 billion. I mean, like or $5 million. It's like insane that you're still being featured on TV and being traded on. You know what I mean? It's like so we were just talking about all this stuff.
Yeah, but if it's a frivolous lawsuit, anybody can sue anybody.
I understand that, but I would think that with the amount of negative press he's been bringing them the last couple months since he's been on the main roster, it's kind of crazy that they've been still pushing him. And I'm not saying I'm against Matt Riddle, but it is kind of crazy.
Let me ask you this from a PR standpoint, and I'm in agreement with you first before I make this point. I
think I need to sign out before you get going.
But do you think it kind of shows guilt if he's off TV?
I don't know, because they did the same thing with Velveteen. Same thing with Austin Theory.
Austin Theory is the one that surprised me the most, because who gives a fuck if that guy's on TV?
Yeah. I mean, but you know what? Like a hot take, they managed to make me an Austin Theory fan again slowly, just because of his match performances. But on the personal side,
he's really good. I like him a lot.
Yeah, that guy could suck.
On paper, he's got future star, like, because he's come from Evolve. If he develops properly, he's got future star written all over him. Yeah, but there's a lot of shit that's out. So
yeah, and that's my thing. And but though, as far as like the PR thing though, like that's kind of where our conversation on that other podcast went, because I was like, well, there's all these people that are doing this cancel culture shit. You know what I mean?
Yep. Like,
but it's amazing because you got to look back at some of the shit. We talked about it earlier, making Trish bark like a dog. Like all there's a lot of shit that Vince should have been canceled for. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The do-rag Vince with the dropping the N-bomb for sure, which is.
All right, Kwency, this is why I cut in, man.
That's
why I stopped you. We ain't gonna slander my boy Vinnie Mac on this show. It's bad enough he has to put up with you AEW marks all the time.
First of all, he's been doing wrestling for over 30 to 40 years.
First of all,
it's gonna slip.
So you're saying that you're standing up for the creator of the Hurt Business.
Amen, brother. All right, guys.
Amen, brother.
I'm excited if you guys can cash at me my money on Monday.
We'll see.
Because I really do think that Randy Keith Orton is going to win the championship.
Every WWE pay-per-view is dependent on how good my fantasy football team's doing. If they're having a bad day, I'm like, I guess I'll watch them Hell in a Cell.
I can't see Randy Orton losing 3 times in a row, man. I just can't see that.
I don't see Keith Lee putting over Braun Strowman, but it happened. So.
And you know, I don't see Otis, you know, winning the Money in the Bank, but that happened. So I mean,
good point.
Otis just cashing in on Drew this week. Just fuck it.
Yeah.
Like it's October. We don't give a fuck at this point. We give a fuck in February, March, and April.
Just go into business for yourself, right? Just
have them dress up in a Halloween costume so people don't know it's him.
Does anybody here think that Otis is a future heavyweight champion?
No.
He might accidentally be. That's.
I mean, he's a current heavyweight, but he's not a future heavyweight champion.
There's no way it happens. So, all right, man. My name is the American Dream, Straight Edge Baca. I'm excited about getting my $6 on Monday. Straight Edge Baca. I don't smoke. I don't drink. I don't do anything. So that's a different podcast for a different time. So
all right. I guess we're gonna have to get CM Baca back on.
I'm thinking. I got a lot of tats coming up. I'm going to get my LeBron James tattoo. I'm thinking about getting an X on my hand too, but I told myself I'm not getting any.
You need to stop drinking for more than 2 weeks.
So he's going to get the Pepsi logo.
It's been 3 weeks now.
So the Pepsi logo on the arm. Cool.
Hey, I'm sorry I can't fast forward time, man. You know, I'm taking it one day at a time.
No. Good for you. Good for you.
Follow the Awkward Side Hug
and
stream the Awkward Fantasy Football Show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. The Awkward Side Hug podcast is on Apple and
look at
Spotify.
You guys, man. This is great.
And the Flow Show.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes has a different name on Baca's podcast.
Young Baca Productions Podcast Network. Let's go.
It's
I'm Brian Andrew.
Follow the Flow Show everywhere. Flow Wrestling Show, and also Flow Wrestling Pod on Twitter. You can find us on YouTube and of course the Young Baca Podcast.
Young Baca Productions Podcast Network.
There you go.
And Kwency's going to be performing this Halloween. I'm super excited. I am super pumped.
I have not given you consent. Cease and desist for using my likeness.
I'm super excited. I'm making your flyer tonight, man.
But I will let you know that you can also follow me and myself, Kwency Jones Go, and my show, The Kwency Jones Show, on everywhere you go to get your podcasts. That's also on iTunes, Apple, also iHeartMusic, and now officially on the True 100 Network.
Exciting stuff. And you're doing commentary, right?
I'm doing commentary coming November 7th for Gold Coast Federation.
Let them know that I'm an amazing booker. All right? Dude, I might not have the match stuff down, but I have the long-term storylines.
And he has what WWE doesn't have, and that's logic. So I like what they're doing. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. But and Baca's gonna get another tattoo. He's gonna put CM Punk under his right eye, and then probably I'm
excited.
He's gonna get the Cobra Commander tattoo under his forearm.
WWE with an arrow.
I might get WWE logo. Right?
He's gonna get WWE over his heart.
I might get WWE logo. That'd be dope, man.
How expensive are your tattoos at your spot? Like when your boy comes by.
I get hooked up, man.
Can I get hooked up?
Yeah, you get hooked up on the set, but you shouldn't go to without me. We'll go together. And we'll make it a YouTube video out of it. It's a super sketchy place. I don't think a white man's ever been in there, but you with me, you're good to go, man.
I've been to some pretty sketchy places with you. So
this place is. I don't think you've ever been a place this sketchy with me. Syrian Nails tattoo in Echo Park off Water and
I was gonna say you swear by these guys' work, man.
Oh, it's.
I've been trying to get some work. I've been trying to get some work myself.
He's super talented, and because we do so much promotion for him, he hooks us up with the tats, and you guys with me, you guys are good to go. But you probably shouldn't go by yourself. Let me know.
Well, I mean, unless I come with bearing gifts such as a Bob Backlund figurine or something like that, maybe some old memorabilia back in the day. I think he'd appreciate that. You know.
Yeah, no, this is a different guy. My boy Capital A is really good too, but it's my boy Dorsey.
Oh, you cheating?
Out of Syrian Nails tattoo
you double dipping, man.
Yeah, so really good dude, man.
He's a wanted
Young Baca
man.
Productions Podcast Network, baby. Young Baca giving $2,000 cash money away, best MC. I really enjoyed this, guys. I'll catch up with you.
Definitely see you guys next week. And this has been the Flow Show.
Later.
Yes, sir.